Now, you went through a recovery program yourself. You struggled with addiction. And we saw that the president signed this Great American Recovery Executive Order. Talk to us about that.
Well, the executive order basically requires us to revamp the recovery programs in this country, the federal investment in recovery in this country to make sure that it works. You know, one of the things that I learned from my own experience with addiction recovery is addiction is a disease of isolation. People who have this disease end up in either bathrooms or jails, institutions of death alone. They cut off their relationships with their families, their friends, their community, and isolation drives addiction. And we have an epidemic of isolation now in our country. The ultimate way to deal with that is to reconnect people with community and reconnect them with some kind of spiritual motivation. So, you know, in the 12-step, and the 12-step movement was, the 12 steps are designed to induce a spiritual awakening. It's a movement that's devoid of religion, but it is intensely focused on spirituality to change who you are. I believe that I was born an addict, that I'm hardwired to drink and drug myself to death. And in order to overcome that kind of biological drive, you need a spiritual fire.
Yes.
And one of the things, one of the unfortunate choices they made during the Biden administration was to exclude faith-based recovery programs from federal funding. I had a friend who wrote me this week, a friend from California, who wrote me about her son, and she said that he had been thrown out of a recovery program in California for talking about God. So this is, wow. This has countered everything that we know about recovery, everything science will tell us about recovery. And one of the things that we're doing as a result of President Trump's order is we're bringing faith-based recovery back into a recovery. The other thing is that we are transitioning now to outcome-based care. It's a very fragmented system. So you go into a detox, you're arrested on the street or brought in from the street. You go to a detox, then you go to a rehab, and then you go to sober housing, and then you get a job. None of those agencies are talking to each other. So President Trump asked us to bring in everybody, the Department of Labor, Department of our department at HHS, HUD, Department of Housing, and to coordinate so that we can follow the addict throughout this whole process. So nobody's responsible for that addict. Everybody is just checking boxes. And like the rest of the medical system, everybody has an incentive to keep that addict sick. If you're rehab, you get paid for 28 days. If that addict goes out and drinks or drugs again, you get another bite at the apple. So every time he goes out and relapses, you make more money. So you have no incentive to make that guy healthy. And one of the things that we're developing now is a way for that rehab to be responsible for that addict for a long period of time. For example, 2 years. So that any time that he relapses, they have to treat him the next time for free. That will provide an incentive for them to maybe keep him longer the first time, make sure he's in an IOP, make sure he's getting aftercare, and take responsibility for his recovery, because they're going to make more money if he recovers than if he doesn't.